SpaceX has just launched a small satellite that could reshape the future of human spaceflight. On its Bandwagon 4 mission, a Falcon 9 rocket carried Haven Demo, a test spacecraft built by Vast Space, to orbit. It's not just another satellite. It's the first real step toward a private space station designed to host astronauts by 2026. In this video, we'll explore how this mission was done and why it's so important. At Cape Canaveral, SpaceX's Falcon 9 roared to life on a mission unlike any other this year. Officially called Bandwagon 4, this rideshare launch carried 18 payloads, but one of them stood out: Haven Demo, the Pathfinder satellite for Vast Space's upcoming Haven 1 private station. Liftoff occurred precisely at 1:09 a.m., marking SpaceX's 140th Falcon 9 launch of 2025, a milestone that shows just how routine and vital these missions have become. The Falcon 9's first stage, on its third flight, made a flawless landing back at Landing Zone 2 at Cape Canaveral just 8 minutes after launch, underscoring SpaceX's unmatched reusability. Meanwhile, the upper stage continued on, deploying the 18 satellites during an hour-long sequence. Among payloads from South Korea's Agency for Defense Development, Turkey's Fergani Space, Berlin's Exolaunch, and the weather forecasting company Tomorrow Companies, Haven Demo captured the spotlight. This small satellite carries the heart of Vast Space's future ambitions. Its role is to test propulsion, navigation, and flight control software that will later guide the Haven 1 space station. In spaceflight, these are the systems that keep a station stable, maneuverable, and self-reliant. By validating them now, Vast minimizes the risk of failure when humans eventually occupy Haven 1. Another key reason this demo matters is its schedule. Haven 1 is slated to launch to low Earth orbit as soon as the second quarter of 2026, riding again on a Falcon 9, meaning every piece of data from Haven Demo will feed directly into final station development. It's a classic engineering approach: test small, iterate fast, and scale up. What makes this event historic isn't the size of the payload, but its purpose. For decades, orbital stations have been government-run. Mir, Skylab, the International Space Station. Unlike Axiom Space's modules, which will initially connect to the International Space Station before detaching later, Haven 1 will operate independently from day one. That distinction is crucial. Vast's design represents the leap from private participation to private ownership in orbit. It's built to host up to 4 people, supporting research, in-orbit manufacturing, and commercial missions for both institutional and private customers. Inside Haven 1, crews will have sleeping quarters, communication systems, and life support hardware modeled on proven NASA standards but optimized for cost efficiency. Vast plans to pair the station with SpaceX's Crew Dragon spacecraft for transportation, creating a fully private ecosystem in a private launch, private crew transport, and private station. That synergy between Vast and SpaceX could make orbital operations faster, cheaper, and more sustainable than ever before. The roadmap is clear. Haven Demo verifies the spacecraft's brains and mobility. Haven 1 will validate human habitability. Once those steps are complete, Vast hopes to scale into multi-module orbital complexes, possibly with artificial gravity elements, a concept the company has discussed publicly. In fact, Vast Space has hinted that this first small station will serve as a prototype for larger rotating habitats capable of generating partial gravity through spin. When viewed in context, the Haven Demo launch is more than a technical test. It's a signal of a new economic and scientific phase in orbit. SpaceX's Bandwagon 4 rideshare program is a perfect example of how launch costs have fallen. Multiple customers now share one rocket, dramatically lowering the entry barrier for new innovators. That's how Vast was able to deploy its test craft alongside 17 other satellites from South Korea, Germany, Turkey, and the United States. The model is simple but revolutionary. Smaller firms can now afford to validate technologies once reserved for governments. This democratization of access is crucial for the next decade. As launch becomes cheaper, private companies can experiment, iterate, and take calculated risks. For Vast, it means Haven Demo can act as a mini-lab, collecting data about power efficiency, communication reliability, and orbital maneuvering. Each data point will feed into software updates for Haven 1, ensuring the station's navigation systems perform flawlessly when it goes live. At a broader scale, Haven 1 represents a turning point in how humanity interacts with space. Until now, space habitats have always been multinational collaborations dependent on government funding. But in the near future, we could see orbital destinations managed like research campuses or business parks, privately maintained but open to international visitors and experiments. That shift could unlock entirely new industries, from zero-gravity pharmaceuticals to fiber optic manufacturing and even space-based data centers like those being developed by StarCloud. The 2025 Bandwagon 4 launch demonstrated how SpaceX's constant cadence, 140 Falcon 9 missions this year alone, provides a reliable backbone for these emerging ventures. More than 70% of those launches have supported Starlink and the Reusable, showing how SpaceX's commercial model sustains frequent access to orbit. Now, that same infrastructure is enabling companies like VAST to test and expand. By 2026, if Haven 1 reaches orbit as planned, vast space could change the landscape of low Earth orbit forever, transforming it from government domain to open commercial frontier. SpaceX's reliable Falcon 9 has once again acted as the enabler of progress, carrying not just satellites, but the seeds of a new space age. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more updates on space exploration and scientific discoveries, and don't forget to leave a comment below. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.